Morning, everybody. So let's have a look at the DOW. There's a couple of things happening on the DOW, and I think this is a part of ichimoku that you need to be very aware of and pay attention to. And that is when price sits between Kijinsen and Tikinsen, it often ranges there. So it very rarely just shoots through Kijinsen or Tikinsen. Okay, very similar to when it breaks through, how hard it is to get. You see, it's 3 weeks basically to get above Tikinsen. So the same kind of effect happens with Kijinsen. Okay, now typically when you have a crossover like this, there's normally a dogfight to get price back up to these levels. And the normal reaction is that it will eventually, Tikinsen will eventually roll over, start pointing down, and then Kijinsen will follow a few periods later. Now, because we're on the weekly, you can see how price is just ranging between these two levels, and that is very, very typical of how price action functions on the Ichimoku cloud, especially when it's between these two levels. And I encourage you to actually go back on any time frame and have a look how long price sits between these levels and what price does inside there. Let's just get to the daily. And here's a great example. You see here's there's Kijinsen, there's Tikinsen, and look what happens when we get between them. It doesn't just fly through, okay? So, and the higher time frames have much more effect on what price is going to be doing. Now, on the daily here, so currently I'm sitting short, okay? I'm sitting short from basically from the top here. Let's just put a line in. So I took a short on this area here. So this line that's here is basically where I've gone short, and I'm sitting with a 210 point stop loss. Okay, so it's a small enough position that fits inside my 3% risk profile. And in fact, I can still play some other trades because it's well below my 3% risk profile. As soon as it starts getting the direction that I'm expecting to happen, I will move the stop down and start adding to the position. So the reason why I've gone short here is we are at the third level of resistance. Okay, so the first one would have been Tikinsen, then we would have been Kijinsen, third is the cloud, and here we are here, we're bouncing off the cloud. Okay, and then the fourth one is the top of the cloud, which is there. And then obviously I've just set it above the previous high, which is this pin bar here. Now, I'm still very concerned about that. Okay, and we can look at it a different way, and we can look at it another way. So whichever way I look at this, this is either a channel or it's a pretty big rising wedge triangle. Okay, so price has been constricted to this level. Then the next thing that is concerning me is this. So Kijinsen, my long-term momentum indicator, is pointing to the downside. My short-term is flat, ranging. Okay. My cloud is pointing to the downside. We are below price still on Siku span, this brown line. So obviously if we get through here then and the cloud, then we've got some interesting things ahead. But for me right now, there is a higher probability of something happening for this thing to fall short. If we just get down to the 4 hour, and you'll see a lot more. So that line there was basically the previous pin bars. It's these pin bars here on the daily. And you can see how price is consolidating at this level. So, yep, may be very wrong, because if you look at where we are on the 4 hour, everything is bullish at the moment. There's nothing indicating that there is a downside. The only thing that's happened here is we have a range forming, okay? And we have a range forming at a resistance level. So just coming back to daily, you know, in my experience, see how we bounced off the cloud there. We bounced off the cloud there. So it's 1, 2, this is the third time that we're going to try this. So yes, granted, we may break through and end up moving up to these levels up here, but that's fine. Then we trade that direction. But for now, for me, high probability is a bounce off this cloud, and I'll be watching this trend line very carefully. So when you look at the 4 hour, okay, yesterday we had a bit of an exhaustion bar to the level, and then we started coming off. And after hours, we ranging up. This is just because Japan is up. No, there's nothing we can add to that. Let's just get to the hour. Okay, so on the hour, you can see I can actually get rid of that and get rid of that. And now have a look what's happening on the hour. And we can probably just draw it slightly differently. So I can draw it like that, where price has gone up and come back to touch this this area. And this is just, could be seen as an overthrow. In other words, it's an overthrow of the wedge to the downside. Okay, and yeah, so it's pretty much touch and go. To be honest with you, I mean, it's not to be said that this thing is definitely going to fall off. We may just eventually push through this level and break through the cloud on the daily. I think let's just put that line in so we can see what we're talking about here. Okay, and let's make it green. Okay, so that's the top of the cloud, and you see there's the top of the cloud there. And right now the close is down here, and we are basically about 60 points above the close at the moment. But yes, I think, as I say, I'm already short, and my stop loss is up there. So I'm in over here, and my stop loss is there. In there, stop loss. Okay, so it's 174 pip. I'll be a little bit higher than that. Let's round it off. It's a 200-point stop loss that I have at the moment. And yeah, so that's my view on the Dow. I'm not filled with as much hope right now until we see a nice break through this cloud and maintain above it. So for now, I have a feeling what we're going to be doing is, let's just get this. Is pretty much what the Aussies lined up for, and that is ranging here at the top of a wedge. So we'll be ranging, and we do break up, cool, then we can start looking for upside areas, but we need to get through. There's too much happening here. I mean, this level needs to be broken on the daily for me to be convinced that we're going to go further. So more than likely a push to the downside first. maybe just to test this trend line for another move up, or maybe we're going to fall off all the way down to this area. So I think we'll need to wait for this range to break to get the real direction. Anyway, hope that helps. Catch you later.